Welcome to another edition of Voice of the Diaspora. This is a very special Sunday edition of the program. In studio with me today is the man of the moment, the element of surprise, Mr. Otto Martin, Mr. Otto Martin, who will be joining us, and he is the host of the new Small Man Show, the new Small Man Show that's creating waves across the diaspora. The show is basically set at Linden to deal with Linden issues. And so now we will bring in Mr. Otto Martin to give us a synopsis of how it all started, what inspired him. Also in studio, we have Mr. Lincoln Zephyr, who will be commenting on issues relating to Linden and also what he thinks about the effect of the Small Man Show. This is a Linden thing today. Mr. Otto Martin, welcome to the program. Mr. Lincoln Zephyr, welcome to the program.
Thanks for
Good
having
evening.
me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Thank you for having me
Okay.
here.
For those who are
Yeah.
calling in, we will give you the prompt when you can call in. I see someone at Tanika's calling in, but we will give you the prompt when we would like to have you in to ask questions or to make a comment or something. So we're not ready yet to take calls. So thank you, Tanika. We'll get back to you. Mr. Martin, the Small Man Show. The Small Man
Yep, yep.
Show. How did it
All
all
right.
start? How did it all start?
All right. So this show was kind of started by one friend asking me a question, and a lot of people start calling in and giving their opinions on just a topic. But merely the Small Man Show was created for the people to give a voice, for the people to give a voice of the voiceless. You know what I mean? I think that's why it's well received. Also, it happened by chance. It's just a one call led to this. But this show was birthed by the community and their questions. And this is how it all started. You understand? I'm not a media person by any stretch of the imagination. And I didn't know, honestly, it was this taxing. But, you know, again, it started by itself by the people. So it's not Otto Martin. So why we can change the spin. The people, I'm just the vessel by where people feel they could call and hear the views. So it took a life of its own.
It took a life of its
So
own.
that's a
You can share this
yeah.
live now you can share this live on your page now, and so that your
Yeah, yeah, I
viewers
did.
can see it. You can share it now. As I said, viewers, you can call in. The link is on Mr. Martin's page, but we will give you the heads up when it's time to take calls and questions. Now, this is the Small Man Show is primarily a Linden thing to highlight issues affecting Lindeners, so that the ordinary man could be in his bed, he could be relaxing on his motorbike, he could be at his shop in the market. You understand, and he can speak any way he wants to speak. It's very down to earth, and it has had a very serious impact on the community very early, because people, the ordinary man who didn't have the voice, they, he's now coming out and saying, look, in raw terms, this is the situation that is happening. This is what is affecting us. This is what is happening, and so on. And thousands of people have joined your show since it started. Tell us about some of the issues that you have dealt with, that you felt good that you would have been making an impact on the Small Man Show.
All right. So a lot of the issues were brought to the floor. We deal with a lot of issues on air, but we deal with most of the issues off air because I felt it necessary not to tout the show as something people from the diaspora or people locally are doing, but we're doing the works behind the works. We have dealt with a lot of issues. We had a lot of uh, the leaders come forward, and it's now making a big impact so far. But a point of correction: People from all over Guyana call me, bro. But for the most part, I deal with Linden issues because I feel I could deal with Linden issues. But people from all over and all walks of life and stuff. This is why I've added more than 1,000 people to my page. So like this thing is ever evolving by itself, and people are asking and they feel empowered to now have a voice because this show is a voice for the voiceless.
Yeah.
And we have lots of issues in those communities that needs to be addressed, and we want it addressed now. The hope is we empower people to start asking and making these leaders in community accountable to us and not the other way around. So this has taken a life of its own. Just started from one question to, and it's ever evolving. So this
Wonderful,
is where we are
wonderful.
now on the big voice of the diaspora. I feel privileged, and I hope for the smaller man, I can represent them at this forum. So thanks for having me.
Thank you very much too. Linden businessman Lincoln Zephyr, you would have been familiar with the program. I think you are a regular guest on the program, and also what are your thoughts? What is the that element of surprise? What is that this new in thing when it comes to the small man show?
Good evening again, Mr. Brown and all the viewers. Yeah, it's good to be here in this, down to earth conversation with my good colleague, Otto, Big Slim. You know, this is
Yeah.
this is like a forum that Otto created that basically where we all used to live in Guyana. We would normally catch up on a daily basis, at we Lyman's spot at the office, 106 some point. And different blocks we had, we would catch up. It's a customary thing that we catch up and chill and play whatever games, and we get
Yeah,
with social discussions. So it's customary that everybody in Linden catch up at different spots and discuss social matters or business matters affecting them or the community. And it's a fact that no one had places they could come and actually air their concerns out and not feel threatened or victimized or scared to do so. You know what I mean? So with Auto creating this down to earth platform where you're gonna take off your shirt and tie and you're gonna come here as an ordinary person, be it you as a leader, a businessman, a politician, a pastor, whoever, you're gonna come here as a Lindener and as a citizen, as an ordinary man, and listen to the concerns. And one of the things I always look at is not just the complaints, but the solutions to these complaints, the way we can fix it as a people. And that's one of the things I'm very proud to see. Atto is trying his best along, behind the scenes as he's proven that after the show is finished, he still goes into work with the different people in positions to try and see these things change for the better. You know what I mean? And every right-minded human being or person from Linden, Guyana should want to accept development, want to accept upliftment. But what a small man should think the message that comes out a lot of times from most of the persons who partner done the right way. It must be done transparent. It must be done, proper accountability. Because for too long the culture has been from you hold a certain position as a leader in the community, you think you're no longer obligated to the ordinary man. It's like
yeah,
your way or no way. It's point blank. You know what I mean? That's been the culture with all the leaders. You know what I mean? And from the toughest, the biggest office right down to the ordinary office in Linden, when it comes to leaders, elected leaders, I think you do a job for people like me and you, the people. So it's only right that you account to the people of the progress and the steps and the plans that you have for them. It should not be like a favor you're doing me. You know what I mean? So every time I hear these development plans coming to front, a person's welcoming it, but still, a person might have a little concern about it and person's trying to shoot it down. That's what bothers me some bit because you should have that right to ask, to know what's going on, with these development, these plans, because that's your right. These people work for us. You know what I mean? The good persons in the diaspora are showing key interest in Guyana and Linden especially because persons have investments doing there. Persons continue to do investments. Persons want to do investments. A person like to see one day we can all be back home living in little Dubai. Because now that we got all this oil, you know what I mean? I would love to catch up back with Otto and 106 and find and lash his base because we could afford to do it. We got a lot of money. You know what I mean? There's the reality
Excuse
we'd
me,
love to
sir.
do.
Yeah. Well,
The
well,
You
small
know,
man
so
it's
the
show.
show,
it's
The
the
very
small
show,
man show is
it,
about progress.
not cut you,
No.
yeah,
Otto, not cut you. But it's
Yeah.
interesting that you said that. But we've got so many people coming in. We've got Bonnie David, sorry, saying Sack and Sonia Rigby, people from Long Island, people in the United States, and they're commenting, and we can see the comments. On the screen. Sonia saying do investments on the down low. It's referring to Lincoln. Do the investment on the down low. Michelle Thomas also is here, but Bonnie Davis is here, and I hope that Bonnie David will call in when the program is open to callers. The link is on Mr. Martin's page. But Mr. Zephyr, it's very interesting that you said that. Well, one
Excuse
of the
me,
things.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
Yes, yeah.
I hear it's not being showed on the page. I shared the link to no avail. It's saying something that you're blocked or something or something.
No, the
I'm
the link
getting oh
the
the
link
e-link.
yeah, the link is on your page, but you can also share this on your, or you just have to press share. Go to my
Yeah.
page and
But
see. If you go to my page, you will see the show streaming. You just share it. It goes to your
from
page.
your page.
Yeah, you have to go to my page. Yes,
All right.
so yes, Mrs. Zephyr. It's interesting that you said that because we see something, in the context of many leaders tuning into the Small Man Show, listening in, and some of them have been calling in the deputy mayor, the regional chairman, and a number of other leaders in the community would have been, it's very interesting because it's a simple Facebook live show. It's a simple Facebook where the host is just down to earth and talking, but there seem to be an influx of people coming on who are speaking to the issues in the layman term, and I think that is needed, and many ordinary people are tuning in, and so many others in society also are tuning in. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. Zephyr? Before we bring Mr. Martin in.
yeah. As I highlighted earlier, I could go a bit in depth to that. Is that see, I mean, the chairman taking time off after his long day at work because after show normally comes on at night when most persons are at home. And the deputy mayor and these different individuals, Mr. Figueroa came on, coming out to, reach to the people, reach to their cries, attempt to reach to their cries, you know what I mean? Make an attempt to say, well, this is the position they're in, how they can help, how they can go forward, if this is true, if this is false. So yes, it shows that the power of the people is always the way. You know what I mean? And this platform also created with the ordinary man can come in and talk his issues and lay out his problems or his concerns to the public, to the world. Now these leaders have to be responsible enough to come and join this arena and give help. You know what I mean? It's not to bash anyone or to crucify anyone. It's to fix the problems at hand. Let's go forward. Let's move forward together in the right way, how it should have been done 10, 50 years ago that I grew up in an era where everything was stereotyped. If you don't know somebody tap or you somebody tap into cool, you can't talk about your legal issue that bothering you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or how you want to get it done. And this show is gonna help along with other shows like what yourself do and other activists and other persons around the community, around the world do. These issues are gonna start helping to get persons who are in authority in line
Yeah.
to understand that the people is what comes first and not self. You gotta change the culture from the leaders being about self, then the people. You gotta go the other way around now. The
Yes.
people, then self. That's what I want to see come out of this show. It's no longer about the leader, it's about the people leader. You know what I mean? So I
It is.
love the show. And Otto is growing from from strength to strength,
Strength.
understanding more, dealing with more, moderating it. What I mean, in the best way. You're gonna find all kind of personalities gonna come into that show. Everyone, people who are passionate about party politics, who are passionate about entertainment,
Yeah.
sports. What I mean, business development. So you got to be prepared to deal with everyone and every culture from every background.
Wonderful.
The
Wonderful.
grassroots man, what I mean, everyone, and I welcome the show and I support it. And whoever in the community or the diaspora that thinks this show should fail, I see you as an oppressor. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
see you as
Wow.
someone who don't want progress. Anyone who I see in the Linden community, from a leader or a normal person, a politician, once you're in the diaspora or you're in Linden or Guyana, and you see this show as a problem that you hope that it end or a catastrophe comes and gotta stop, then I see you as a problem that we gotta deal with, and we're dealing with at hand right now as an oppressor, as a person who don't want progress and development. That's how I see you. So everyone should give a chip on the shoulder to Otto and support this event, support this function, this program in every way you could, to see it grow from strength to strength, to help the community, to help everyone benefit positively from this.
Thank
Okay?
you very much, Mr. Zephyr. I want to go to Mr. Martin now because we're going to lighten this show in the context that we are going to be serious in one segment and we're going to have a laugh in the other segment. Otto, Lise Clark is saying that it is on your page. The link is already on your page and it's posted on your
Okay.
page. So many people are texting and so on, and we're getting a large viewership at the moment. But before I go to the first clip, this is the Small Man Show on Voice of the Diaspora. So you are the man of the moment. This is your show. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to actually do the Small Man Show here now, the way you would talk to people. Just do it, and then we'll compare it with one of the clips to see if you it's the same kind of energy. So we're gonna go straight to
Yeah.
you now, and I want you always start by saying that the views of the Small Man Show is not
I'll
necessarily.
I'll I'll do the
So
show.
let
I
me
could
let
do the
me
show for
let me
you.
take you there now for a few minutes before we continue discussing. Otto Martin, the host of the Small Man Show, is here with us on Voice of the Diaspora. Also, businessman Mr. Lincoln Zephyr. Mr. Lincoln Zephyr, a very, very staunch and community oriented Lindener, is here with us. And so we're now going to ask Mr. Martin to, to,
To
to
conduct
do
the
a
show.
few minutes of the Small Man Show.
All right. So welcome to the Small Man Show on the Voice of the Diaspora. This show was created by the small man. This show is the voice of the voiceless. This show was birthed by you, created by you, and it will die by you. This show is an interactive show. This show deals with issues, not personalities. Let me repeat. This show deals with issues, not personalities. As the downtrodden and the small man in society who never does get heard, I want you to know, feel empowered to talk up because this is a platform for you to air your views, however big, however small, in wherever creator leads, and so on. This ain't got big boy in it. This is for the small man. Okay? So feel free to call in and air your views. And so the big people in society, the leaders, the MPs, the leaders, start listening to our cries. And this is just a gap. This is just a gap. This is just a community style gap. So hopefully they listen to us and they try to alleviate our pains and our sufferings by really listening to us because we don't get into the doors of the big boy. So,
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Lincoln, wait a minute. Lincoln, this boy sound a bit nervous. This is not the man that is on the Small Man Show. This is
So
a man who's trying to
you
you
grooving it, getting
God,
the warm
of
up.
course. But I want to this. This is
This is
our
not.
one.
Let us go to this
I
clip.
do not
Let us
tell you,
let us go
God.
to this clip, Lincoln. Let us go to this clip for us to see the
I like
difference.
this out.
The difference.
CDC. Here, look here. What's this? If you got so much billion, you come to school, you come to, if you got a couple billion US, you come to Linden, with like 1,000 US and say, I get 1,000. You're taking the CDC and the CDC blinding you all the time. You seen the bigger picture. You would never ask, want to the 900 billion? Nah, me want from this 1,000, I want the 900 billion too. I a Guyanese. And the thing is, they're going to say, oh, the show should soon burn out. Let the show burn out. But you can hear from me. I see enough poor people doing shows. I want everybody to start the show. Come out, people. Or sit in your houses and say, Linden and Region 10 in Guyana is a wonderful place. We don't need to change anything, and the small man show does not make sense. And now you can ask you as the small man. Not small man, I aim at the show name small man, which is you show. I can say, which part of Guyana nice boy? I used to go in Sapphire. I used to go. You see the unfair thing? 3 big banks in front of Grove for service big buys. And by Sapphire, you want to put up jail and community house for buys and so. Look up here. People there don't see me going on. 3 big banks for service Grove. And Sapphire, we got for going in. I used to go in a hole for bed. And until you come out the yard, I say, shucks. I got to come out early for people don't see my belly. I say, bye. You got time to me.
All right, so Lincoln, do you see the marked difference? I don't want you to
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want you to be nervous and voice of the diaspora. This is our show. This is a show also for the ordinary man, and I've been saying that for a very long time. Of course, you know it
Let
has
me,
attracted. 1 second, it's attracted very many persons of different walks in society, and it can be quite serious. So I'll give you another opportunity. I'll give you another. Lise Clark is
clear it up.
laughing. Sonia's laughing. They say you're nervous. Oh, I can see all the
No, no.
comments on the screen. They say you're. So
All right.
listen. I want to hear. Here, I want to hear. I want you to speak to the wider diaspora. I
All
want
right.
you to. I
All
want
right.
you to
I'm
say
going to go in
this
there.
show does not reflect.
All right.
So
Listen.
let's go again. Let's go one more time. Go ahead. It's your turn.
All right. Here's the difference with that. Most people see me as the host. I don't share my views. Too tough. What the little clip you saw there is me sharing my views. See, if I used to call him for me show, this is how you would have thought. But since I call him for this show, I can talk to boys. All of them people in the parliament with them regular boy suit who not listening to the people, who not doing works for the people. You need to put down your portfolio bag, take off your shirt tie, and work for the people. I'm talking to Mr. Mark Phillips from Linden, and the people are suffering. You have 70% unemployment in that part of Guyana. Come out, help your people. I heard you on the campaign trail. You said. Also, I would like to talk to my classmate. You can tell with the big by them and he might deny me, but I was his classmate. I saw him at 1 mile against the people who were shouting against him. There's a clip on the internet. I saw it on the internet. I wasn't there. And he was lamenting what he's going to do for Linden and what are they going to do and so on. I'm tasking you, sir,
Who's that?
respectfully, Mr. Todd, to come to Linden and with all the same conviction you had on that speech, come and show the people that you're a man of your word. The PPP want them to come and alleviate, bring factories, big things, 70% unemployment. So all them big boy with their thing and short and saying this and that, use the problem. For year in, year going and doing nothing, G. So
that is
this is when I give you my views.
that is but we were
Don't let
talking
them
about
start.
we were talking about the confidence, and that's it. You spot on there.
What is wrong with these people?
Yes,
I'm
that's
very
what we.
serious.
Yes.
You know, back in the day, you used to think, oh, your own people, your own people. We want progress, period, people. This is not a thing to where we have an agenda and so on. We are punishing as a people. We don't want the racial divide. We don't want all them things. We want factories. We want to go to work. We want gangsters to say good morning and have a job. What are you doing to the Linden community and the Guyanese community, period? And anybody who listening to my voice and they tell me I talking wrong, use the problem. What is wrong with you? I'm not playing. This is not no joke neither. It's time we stand up for our rights. Time we make those politicians accountable to us. Time those politicians get their business in order and serve the people. Whether this side or this side, PPP or APNO or PSC, they're squabbling and falling to sleep in the parliament and nothing in Guyana, bluffing people. All them politicians bluff. And if you want to prove me wrong, prove me wrong. You feel me? That's what's up. This ain't got bias and feelings and we used to what used to. This is the 21st century. Do right by the people. And for those naysayers who said this program will go away, you don't know how much grandmother inboxing me, how much fathers, how much thing. I ain't stopping at all. So you gotta listen to me and go higher for y'all. I got a little important now, the big boys in government in Guyana and over here are calling. So I could get some weight for come down and make you do this and do that too. You feel me? But we running hard for ourselves. I listen to the views of the people. You should listen to the views of the people and really take it to the diaspora. And I need to say one more thing in this particular segment, sir. The 1,000 house slots that was promised to the people of Linden, let me put my face right. Please give it to the people of Linden. We filing all plots of the devil. We want other people come and get we house lots. We punishing 70%. And Mr. Mark Phillips is the high person in thing. He's the prime minister. He from Poker Street. Don't let you bluff you. Now we living in Big Bike Place. Yeah. There's auto giving you views. No time other people is calling and get a views. I serious, and I don't got time advice. I want to look in my eyes, sir. Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. President, please go to the Linden community. Linden community and big we up. The leaders in the community come together, APNU and think and help the community. What happened to bipartisan support? There's a big word alone over here. Yeah, but bro, it's hard. It's hard rendering for pick up my phone and see people. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Help the people stop the nonsense. The communities want help. So again, let me thank you in the middle, at the start, and at the end for having me on the Voice of the Diaspora. You understand? But this show was brought by the people's concern. So many concerns, and they want to be heard. They feel they can't get in the big by them office. The big by, like the pastor one for Linden, we used to pass people, bluffing people. Everybody telling you, this thing got done, they got to human decency. We want jobs. We want to go to, you riddle me this. Who want to go to work and don't have a thing? You coming and touting all these different things in campaigns, and you not coming and bring the mustard. They want people fight, and you got to come with community card and thing. We can do politics when it's politics. We suffering all the time. For 50 years, I never feel, don't fight above me age. But here's what I'm saying. Year in, year go, it ain't happening. Change the culture. We got oil now, we do right by the people. Nobody want to go into fire and still get your mosquito bite. Fumigate the place. Why? Again, the views expressed on the Small Man show is not necessarily the views of the Small Man. But you can't want nobody black man. And this is not a light.
That's what I wanted to hear. But you're not giving me the full thing. I want to hear that part. The views.
I had a train for black men. And to all the listeners who unbox me, boy, don't do this and so. Why you know my rules? Let's say good like Mr. The old man with the beard by PPP. I don't got time with boys. I'm speaking up. I'm talking truth to power.
Let us take a quick
All right.
break and have a look at this clip before
Oh,
we
what?
Marshall. So you think, right, back in the days, you think the people gonna come now and weed like how them people used to weed phase Russ and weed the community like back in the days?
That's why I tell you, I didn't even know I black till I was about 13. Because I used to play lawn tennis with white people.
You think the people gonna come out? I mean, now we have
We could get
more.
back to that. Lynette,
We get
all we have
more
to do,
more tools. We get more advanced technology that we could come back and do this work. But
right.
now the farm these CDCs in place of that. What was happening way back.
Watch you know,
But
watch you know.
still, them doing all the work. It's just the drains and the little creeks and so the digging.
You hear?
Right?
You hear my neighbor?
But we got to get back to weeding. We could get like somebody get like 100 slashers, 200 slashers, and go out in the community and clean.
Yeah.
You
We
understand?
can get to that. But let's what happened. These government boys just come to the communities and tell you it's rockle. Remember I used to do it because if a man's an alien, you pull out 2,000 and you say, hey.
And I told the football field, the Phase Ross football field, you know how many letters I wrote to both sides, my brother and I, through the CDC, and we never get any response from that. I mean, it would be...
That's a travesty.
You could remember the days when the chopper used to land there with the president and the prime minister and the head of government.
We sell it out, call them out from both sides. What are these people is doing here now? Man, love them because at least they're bringing work.
But here now, the thing
That's
is...
the only country. You go to any island, the people tell you, not here. This is my island thing. So these people is come with a kind of negotiation skills like, I used to work at Barack.
No, but in the Caribbean islands, the people just do landscaping. That's a...
We're just talking about the mental.
that is the small man show host in action, and it's very interesting and important to note that the rapport. If people come on the show and they would make their contribution, they will discuss issues, a wide range of issues. There is no issue that cannot be discussed, and it's remarkable. It's absolutely beautiful. And I personally, on the Voice of the Diaspora, want to congratulate you, because you know what, we've had a problem over the years. I think that has caused our community not to grow, and for politicians to take advantage of us, and for people to, ride roughshod over us. The unity was lacking. Whenever we see a brother doing something, instead of lifting that brother up, including that brother in the process, we find ways to try to pull that brother down, say something negative. How could I bring her to my show? There's a way, or who is Norman Brown or whatever. And we see something is happening differently now. Like Bob Marley said, a natural mystic blowing through the air. We're connecting. And Mr. Zephyr, what are your thoughts on I mean, you're a businessman. You've got lucrative businesses at Linden. What are your thoughts on the community? Before I get to Otto, to ask him about the many people who say politics should not be involved on his show, and how would he respond to that here on Voice of the Diaspora? What would you like to say to the people, Mr. Zephyr, in terms of an environment being created at Linden that's conducive to the growth and development of that community, for the ordinary man and woman to be given opportunities, whether it is micro businesses or macro businesses, but the people of Linden should be given those opportunities, and should be helped to see those opportunities manifest into reality. What are your thoughts when you look at what the community used to be and what it is emerging into at the moment?
That's a good question, but I think everyone in the community has the right to a good life, has the right to the in once you're in Guyana, once you're from Linden, all right? And I think it's time that all the leaders, all as I said earlier, all those offices, those high posts, persons who are responsible for managing and executing these, day to day projects and business for the people and the country. It's time the culture change as it being a favor.
I think there's a bit of breaking in transmission there with
Act
Mr. Zep.
on it.
Okay.
I think whoever's in the position to support the cries of the ordinary man, what I mean, be it what position you have, what business you have, micro or macro, you should be given that opportunity to a good life. And everyone who's been elected and who also who's been selected to, because I get persons being selected into positions while some are elected, okay? They should manage and they should lead as again putting the people first. That should be the new culture. That should be the new motto for all the leaders in Linden, Region 10, on both sides of the coin, be it where which party or where you come from. The first motto you should be the order of the day is the people. Whatever you do, it should benefit the people first. You know what I mean? And the person should be given that chance to a good life. And it is there. The reality is, and that's the sad situation. It is there. A good life for the ordinary man is right there. It's right there. But it's all about the management, you know what I mean, of this good life. So if persons can change their mental with this whole situation and put the person first, put persons first, put the community first in the development and the planning and the execution of these things, then I see everyone can have a good life. You know what I mean? You no longer want where you lime in, you know what I mean? You gotta looking down or you could, pinpoint who doing better than who in that kind of culture back home because you know what I mean, a man is getting this amount of income over another man. You must go back to days where everybody are balanced. You know what I mean? Everybody on the same playing field. We all could eat and drink the same thing, wear the same thing, drive the same thing because we having that life given to us. And now we have one the biggest natural resources that is globally
Point.
recognized.
Word.
Black
Word.
gold, oil, you know what I mean? We should be able, we population is under a million people. You know what I mean? And living in the outer world here is not a boast, it's just you can see that certain areas you live in, the whole population of Guyana. You know what I mean?
Lincoln,
So
one
it
second.
should be
Hold that,
able.
Lincoln. Hold that point. I'm bringing you back in almost immediately because we're interacting. Akani Blair has come on to say Otto, that's an imposter. Norman Brown is trying to reshape your show. Before long, small man would be no man if you allow him.
Uh,
All that point, let Mr. Zephyr finish, but remember it,
all
and
right.
then you can respond to it. And you can make a point to Mr. Zephyr. Go ahead.
Yeah. Um, as I was saying, so it just needs the leaders to start, put projecting for development, but putting the people first, putting reality first and not self, and we're gonna get somewhere. You know what I mean? There's room, there's the necessary things gonna be in place just to make people life better, make person's life more happy, more comfortable. Everybody deserve a good life. You know what I mean? And as I said earlier in closing, I I endorse Otto on the show because it's a good gesture. It's a gesture for persons would want to see it stop because of their own personal agenda or their affiliations or their, as I would call it, yes man and yes woman style, and that's outdated. It can't be a yes man, yes woman. Anybody who thinks Otto show should not go on or should not keep the same shape that it has is no oppressor, is a dung presser, is a
I
hater.
agree.
I don't care who it is. I don't care which party you're from. If you can respect the ordinary men coming to our platform to air out their cries and their hurt, You know what I mean? Their displeasures or what they would love to see to improve their life and their family lives around a community, and you don't want a platform like that, then you're an oppressor, a dung press, you're a hater, you're bitter. There's no place for you here. All right. And as I said, too many positive people, too many persons who their mental faculty is on right are in support of Arthur's show. So it will not crumble. It will not mash up. You know what I mean? And you will have persons who's going to come in and try to mash it up, but it would not happen. You know what I mean? It will not happen.
And there
So
will be
Arthur
people.
again,
There will be
there
people
will be,
who will want to cause the
there will be,
disunity, like a Connie Blair,
yes,
who is saying that
yeah,
he's hurt a Connie Blair. And after Otto would have said what he had to say in response to that, so many comments is coming in. I can't even see the comment again to read it again. So many comments. You know, they don't want to see this unity. They don't want to see this coming together. What are your thoughts, Otto, on I'll get back to you, Mr. Zephyr, in a second. What are your thoughts on two things in response to Mr. Connie Blair, and also you know the unity that we are forging, and the way some people are actually criticizing and condemning your show. How do you feel about it? I think
Hey, Mr. Blair, hear me?
yeah, we are you.
Can you hear? Yes. Respect. You're entitled to your own opinion. But luckily, this show was birthed by the community and it will stay alive by the community. You can't stop that. So no matter who try to stop this small man show, they can't do that. One. Two, this unity that we have, it is what we need. Unity, but also we're trying to empower people to speak up for themselves, to start holding these politicians and the leaders accountable for their campaign promises. It's just a simple thing. And this is catch fire and it wouldn't take. I don't know about which show and who show, and I don't care feelings and all them type of thing. It's not about me. This was done by the people. I used to like playing my nice hard music and shaking my head, and I felt just like the community personally. And that if somebody else had done this, I would have called in and I would give my contribution, and I would have make sure people hear me. So since I'm the one that they chose to air their views, I'm going to allow them so far. So Mr. Blair, ain't nobody stopping this small man show. As soon as I come on, my first thing is say is Warrior King. Don't let them get you down. You understand? Don't let them get you down. They can't get you down. The small man feel oppressed. You understand? We our voices don't be heard, and we are the one to feel the pain of the communities and everybody in the community. You understand? So different leader can happen. Now, when it comes to the unity that we have, this is what we need. And again, my platform or the Small Man Show, I don't say nothing with me. Small Man Show platform is the people's platform. So that will take whatever life that it takes. And we're seeing people just asking questions, issues, and that's it. No, let me say again, no political agenda, but just the upliftment.
Mark Jordan just said that Elvis wants to buy your show. The comments, you guys, I don't know if you guys can see the comments.
I guess,
There are a lot of
I
PPP
guess,
people who have tuned in here, Mr. Zephyr. There's so many PPP people. Mr. Benjamin is on, but guys, I'm very serious about this. We will in the next few minutes open the show for people to call in one at a time to make their comments or ask questions to Mr. Lincoln Zephyr on what he said, and Mr. Otto Martin, or even myself. But this is not about me tonight. This is about my brother. This is about my fellow Lindener. This is his show. Listen, the views expressed on this show
it's
are
not
not
necessarily the truth.
necessarily the views of Voice of the
Yeah.
Diaspora, the Small Man Show. But seriously,
Small man,
go to
voice of
Mr.
the
Go to Mr. Martin's page and you will see the link that you have to click on, accept the mic accept the
The
voice,
E-Link.
the song,
Uh,
and you can call in. You're welcome to call in and ask Mr. Martin, the Small Man Show, any question, or Mr. Zephyr, any question that you want to. So please feel free to do so. Let us go to this clip before we continue.
This segment comes to you with a kind compliment of Signature Moves. Signature Moves, two of the products here. Right? Good evening, Mr. Benjamin.
Good evening, sir. I really didn't want to come on now, you know. I didn't want to come on when...
No, whenever you...
Listen.
Man, this thing is not no big buy.
No, it's not. It's not big buy or not. I
Yeah.
wanted to come on when
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor was there, Mr. Deputy Mayor, because
Okay.
I just feel that I was sidelined and I was given the wrong deal. You understand? Because I went through the right procedure. Let me just tell you this or two. I didn't do anything wrong. I came to Guyana with my money in my pocket. You understand? I left that business. Well, it might be a big business, but I was the owner of 3 boss before I left Guyana. Come, I went back home with my money. It doesn't matter where I get money from or what I do. I go back home with money for spending Guyana where I born and grow. You understand? And I ain't left the ghetto where I come from in Calvary City and go in the ward or go to town or no way. I go back right there and I build a house. You understand? I got 4 different places in Linden, but people gonna know about them. You understand? Soon. So I come and I approach the right people and I did things the right way. I approached 25 car in first place. They said there's trade school place. I said, me want all over. I said, well, right down here. He said, a piece of the car now. Tell me, no, not 25 car today. No, you can't go there. Look, 25 car today. You understand? Ask the dark kennel, same thing. I asked my tank where you going in to retrieve them by GT&T. Sandra Adams told me, God rest the dead, that there is to put some play field for somebody. I say, you serious? Play field on the main road? Where people, children gonna come and buses and cars flying down the road. I said, what happened to the one right behind there at the folk home? We're full of bush. They ain't said nothing. You know what happened? I forgot about that. Mr. Ben, that's why I wanted him on the show. I personally spoke to him about that. And what he's saying there, I telling you, bro, I am not in agreement with that. Because look at the 5 car now. Look at the 5 car now we got a vulcanizing shop. This place is at the road. All the way out to the end, we had to set up. Traffic don't come through Bobby's road. The space right there. What I want to do. I give that so the document, the size, and that. Yes, sir.
I'm telling that, man. I'm telling that. And that's sticking.
I'm not sure.
Is it home?
I do on the road, I do on the mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it probably can go in and out.
Yeah. See you.
You hearing good now?
I
I gotta try to focus it and left it one place. Yes. So I was really upset about it and I was disappointed because from 2016 to 2018, I paid over 8 million Guyana dollars in taxes in Guyana, and I got proof to show that. You understand? I got anything I tell you here right now, I got proof to show it. Now, coming to what we talk about, Len. You understand? I never go and borrow no money or nothing from nobody, no way party. I come home, I built a house for $44 million I spent out my pocket. I could talk to because it's me money. You understand? I spend that money and I go and build my house. I got a friend them that got enough money. Me had time with them to tell me, "Boy, left your money, go to the bank. I'm going to take money." I said, "No, because remember how we scared about them thing. You understand?" After I get down to the hotel that I was trying to put opposite, behind the PPP office, when I went to Sam Hines and Horace James and them, and then the Mecca go and get drying and that kind of thing, and deny me, I decided to go and buy the building and retrieve. Broke it down, and I threw up the building there. It soon come. Trust me, it soon come. By March, you're ready to do business.
So I wanted to strike a balance in terms of different views that would happen on the Small Man Show. Some people will, in their deliberations in terms of their experiences, would say they felt slighted by the administration of the People's National Congress. Some people would have felt slighted by the administration of the coalition while it was in office. And so Mr. Benjamin was giving his views there, as you would have given your views calling on Mr. Mark Phillips and others. So we have to strike that sort of balance. Mr. Zephyr, what would you like to say about all of this before we open the floor to questions? We'll have you for 2 minutes, and then we'll have Mr. Martin for 2 minutes. Then we'll open the floors for you guys to answer questions from those who wish to call in, if they are going to call in. And Akani Blair is welcome to call in and cuss. Don't worry.
um, yeah, like I said, I'm glad you showed that clip. Um, to show the fact that the Small Man Show is a balance. Everyone, be it which party you're affiliated with, be it you're not a party person, you're just an ordinary man with concerns, your views, or you got solutions to problems. The Small Man Show accommodates you. You know what I mean? It doesn't put a restriction on you, because I've learned of many persons who I know probably affiliated with PPP or is PPP, who is APNU, who is AFC, and who is nobody but themselves. I mean, who is yes man, who is yes woman. I mean, everyone you see got a chance to come on the show and hear their views, and it's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because at least it's bringing persons up to a level where they were not a few years ago. You know what I mean? Under both administrations, persons were scared to come on programs like these, like what Autos keep it and speak, because, the victimization, what I mean, and the pressure that's gonna come down on them after they're finished hearing their, humble views. It wasn't becoming, but now persons are logging on, and it's a unity that's building. It's a collective effort where persons, what I mean, are supporting each other and the cries and the concerns. And that's what's going to make the show a successful one, because persons are coming to embrace each other as brothers keepers and sisters keepers, where persons support persons with their problems, their issues, and the resolution is not always to chastise or crucify the person, who has been accused of blocking a progress or development, but it's to bring it to their attention and then force their hand, if so be the case, to adjust and make the correction for the better development, for the progress to continue. You know what I mean? So, as I said, the playing field is now balanced. It's an ordinary man show. It's down to earth. You know what I mean? You don't need no big fancy grammar or no sexy English A pass or UG pass to come on this show. You know what I mean? You could come and speak, even if you pronounce the word wrong or such. Persons, you're not there to hear that. Persons are there to hear the issues, that is bothering the community and persons, and the solutions coming out of it. All right. And we all saw from the few weeks. I don't even think, I told you that, is this show a month old as yet? I don't want to think this show is fully up.
3 weeks.
Is it a month old?
3 weeks.
Exactly.
3 weeks.
In 3 weeks, the amount of issues that was peddling around the tongue and the diaspora about different things and matters around Linden and Guyana have came to the light now with much more detailed explanation and informative, information from the leaders themselves, telling you what's going on. You
Not
know what I mean? So
not
the show
only
is
that,
making
people are
significant
addressing the problem.
progress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to
Yeah.
encourage everyone to. It's a good thing Otto and team jumped on the young lady situation in Guyana with eight children. You know what I mean?
At
There are many,
Linden.
many more persons who are living in a very poverty struck life. And it's good if we can all chip in any way. Myself and family will be making a contribution towards that, just to help the betterment of eight innocent kids and a mother who's been struggling, to give them the right to live, the right to a better life, and to bring out, someone being able to help someone to get a better life. It doesn't make sense I get five, six pair of shoes and those kids got none, and I could do something for help one of them or two of them. So this platform, again, would never mash up because of these situations. It's not only about issues, it's about solutions. It's about giving help where needed. All right. So I'm telling everyone, all my colleagues, all my friends, all who into business, whoever overseas, whatever you can do, little to support that project that Otto and team is doing for that young lady with her 8 kids. Just feel free to come on board and just do it. You know what I mean? It's a good project to come on board with, and it's a good start. And in time to come, everyone will be able to help many more persons who are probably in the same position. So that's my take on this, Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zephyr. I think that was well said. That was properly said. So, Otto, what do you have to
Yeah,
say?
small.
I want you, this is your show. I want you to invite the guests them to call in now after you would have finished spoken. Um, After you would have finished speaking, sorry. You can invite your guests to call in and to ask you questions and to, make whatever comments they want to make. Thank you very much, Zainab John. Zainab John has just said, Mr. Akani Blair, with respect, please contribute to the topic or say nothing. At the end of the day, the Small Man Show and the Voice of the Diaspora have provided a platform which gives the ordinary man a platform for their voices to be heard and to inspire change in the community. And she's responding to Mr. Akani Blair, a political prostitute and grasshopper who has jumped from party to party for contracts. For petty money, and I have to be serious because he's on this program and he's commenting more than everyone else. He's calling me an imposter. He's telling Otto not to trust me and so on. This is the disunity that some people are bringing. Mr. Blair, of course, is welcome to call in on the program. But I want to thank Zainab John, an intellectual from Linden, a woman of quality, caliber, and social standing, for commenting on the post. Mr. Martin, please invite your guests, make your points, and let's take it on. Take it from there.
All right. Here's what I will do. I'll take a different spin. Again, if I'm to lead by example, I'm going to lead by example now and not address the infighting of, you guys.
Precisely.
What
That's
I'm
right.
going to do is, what I'm going to do more directly, I'm going to ask the viewing public to try to assist Linden and assist this young lady. If they want, they could contact Miss Utif Brummel. Miss Utif Brummel. She's on Facebook. She's on my page. She is. She took the lead to help this young lady. All of the charities from in the diaspora and at home help this situation and help this. Let's see what we can do to help. So we lead in and we put in our monies where our mouth is, right? Because forever too long, Miss Bramel said, a lot of people like talk. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And I followed her lead. I think she's a good leader. She's of good moral standing. And off board with her. We have to use this not to get into the back and forth, but I'm gonna ask people to contact Miss Shooter Brummel. Let's help because it's too much talk and for too much time we're doing. We're just talking, right? Um, yeah. So this show is mine. So here, people, call in the Small Man Show, area
The
views.
link is on your page. Let them know the link is on
Yeah,
your page. They can.
the link is on my page. Call in, area views, and everyone is welcome. We don't have no political agenda here. Everybody's welcome to the floor. Hopefully, we come with facts and not conjecture. And we deal with the issues and not personality. So, with that being said, well, let's open the floor to the viewers and let's see what's going on in the community. Let's
Yeah,
get to the mustard.
are we getting the comments? Is 50 Eldon Kendall Harvey, sorry, is on. He said MPPP Trenchy, they're all over the place and so. So there is a interaction in the comment section. It's loads of comments and so on. Look, this is an open show now. I would ask viewers to go to Mr. Otto Martin's page, and you will see the link there, Ecamm Live. If you click on that, you can call in and ask Mr. Zephyr and Mr. Martin any question. Of course, anyone calling in need to be civil, as Mr. Martin said, the Small Man Show boss said. It's not a personality thing. Of course, Saskia, my PPP friend, a young doctor who studied in Cuba and is forever grateful to the PPP for sending her there. She needs to understand that scholarship had started under the Burnham government, but she has a right to say whatever she has to say. But she's welcome to call in and give her view. So, guys, go to Mr. Martin's page and you will see the link there. You click on the link and you can call in. Lincoln, what would you like to say to the people of Linden as we await callers?
Yeah. Again, I think persons need to start getting more innovative. You know, what I mean, persons just to start looking at projects and businesses that that can embrace these new developments that are coming. You know what I mean? The new wealth that should be coming to Guyana once managed right. You know what I mean? Persons should be open to new development, prepare themselves to deal with it, um, take up some more skill training in different areas. So when these jobs and these projects come, if these things do materialize, like the 1,000 houses to be built in Linden, all the carpenters and all the masons and all the electricians and plumbers should be coming from Linden. You know what I mean? All those little jobs should be from Linden.
Yeah,
All right, all those things should be from Linden, and persons would get a chance to earn and in seeing their projects a reality. They're the ones who actually put it together. All these different projects want to be done and projected to be done. Persons in Linden should be geared up to benefit from them via employment. You know what I mean? So I would love to see that happen. I'd love to see the leaders in the community keep going at it. You know, every day, weekly, more often. You need to keep interacting with the people, informing them via the radio, via social media, via television programs, or your development and the progress you do. You know what I mean? I saw that there on Adams, the regional chairman, and MP Figueroa, and them started a little live conversation the other night, a round table talk with Mr. Bino. You need to see more of that from them because I think for the last few years, that's been a sore point with administrators and leaders. Their PR was terrible. All right, their PR just used to limit to whatever they feel like putting on their personal social media page. That was about it. You know what I mean? They never took time off to expand their PR work to the people and get the people informed and well rounded on what's going on, what's to come, what's the obstacles or whatever. So I think communication will raise the bar in Linden with everything that we do now, and that's technically what's
very
happening on the
good.
Small Man Show.
Very good.
Communication.
Very good. And of course also
All
the
right.
voice of the diaspora. But the thing
Yes.
the thing is that the small man show at the moment is the show. Is the show. And we have taken the opportunity to bring our brother on this show, and I wish that other shows could bring our brother on because this is a unique aspect of communication. It is remarkable. It is so open to the ordinary man and woman, and to all Guyanese to make their contribution. Of course, I've just posted the link. Or someone is calling in. Was Otto?
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You okay? Okay, so you're in. Yeah. So so it is this unity that we're forging, and it is this aspect of communication that we want to make sure takes form, so that everyone can have a voice in an oil-rich country. It's not going to be where people are stifled, where people are hurt, people can't say anything, or so on, while the wealth of the country is channeled elsewhere. And so it is important that we keep this fire. It is important that we keep this fire burning. Otto, what would you like to say in closing? I think your song is off. Um, I think you rang in twice. So let me see. Uh, yeah, your song is gone. Hang up and call back again. And yes, Mr. Zephyr, you were saying.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The basic thing is communication that has been developed on these programs, just your program, Ato's program, and the other, small programs that are around. What I mean, communication is being developed, and with good communication, you can get, development and progress. All right. So, as I said, let the unity remain, let the communication stay, all right, on all levels and grow from strength to strength, and it's going to make a really, really big impact in Linden.
Wonderful. Otto Martin, we are going to close now, and you have the last words. You have the last words. The floor is yours, to speak to the diaspora and to speak to my audience, and of course your audience and people online.
All right. In closing, thank you very much for the people who wish the show well. Right. This was birthed by you, and it will continue up and running by you. So thanks for everybody who gets involved, who joins every day, and so on. We are on air from 7 p.m. daily, and we get into the issues. Also, thanks for all of the people who supported the little projects that come about from speaking on the voice. I go to say the voices. Small Man Show. All right. So thank you very much to you guys, and I would like to talk to the small man now. People, this show is a voice of the voiceless. If you feel that your voice has never ever been heard, please speak up now and empowering you to empower yourselves to make your community better. Speak up, hold those elected officials accountable for what they promise via their campaign. It's just a simple thing. Community style gaff, get into the issues, hopefully all the big boys. And before I end it, I'm asking the comrade president to come to Linden and the prime minister to come to Linden and Region 10 and alleviate the thing. We have 70% unemployment, and this is your country now. You need to come and try to fix all those different issues. Listen to the small man. The small man will be talking up, and we can talking up loud from now. So, ain't no hiding from these problems. Let's face it head on. Let's face it together, and let's get the betterment of our societies. Period. So, thanks for having me on. If it's the last segment, I don't know if we're still doing the question and answer.
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone is seeing it on your page. We can afford a few minutes more for people to call in, but I think people may find
Yeah.
difficulty because it's not like a Facebook Live. You have to like
Right.
click on the link and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
People been asking me.
if there's anyone out there who wishes to call in, just indicate via the comment section and try click on the link on Mr. Martin's page. I've just posted the link
Yeah. He can.
in the comment section. It's an Ecom live link. And if you wish to call in, you just click on that link and you can ask Mr. Martin questions. You can ask
I'm
Mr.
going to read the
Zephyr.
question. Mr. Akani Blair said, don't do it again, never.
Yeah, yeah, you can see he's being a bit of,
I can
but
see
the
that.
thing is that look, Akani you have to understand that Akani is someone, we're not dealing with personality. We don't want to spoil this show, lingering on Mr. Blair. But my viewers, this is our platform, and you're a guest here, and Mr. Zephyr is a guest here. And my viewers must understand that Mr. Akani Blair is from Buxton. He has attacked every leader, including the sage UC Kwayana, a revered Guyanese. He has attacked Dr. David Hines, and he's been attacking all these people of his own hue. You understand? To get favors from the PPP and Mr. Jagdio. You understand? And the Connie Blair, when the PPP would have shown him that you are just what you are, like all of the other black people in Guyana, he became upset and he jumped to another political party, like a political grasshopper. He went over to another political party, and now the PPP is back in office, albeit illegally. He's all over the place trying to smear people who may speaking out against injustice and the wrongs that are visited on our nation and visited in our country. And so this is my last take on Akani Blair. He is someone that has been rejected and discarded by the PPP. Bishop Edgel hates him, you understand? And he has turned on his own people. His name is Akani. It's an African name that was given to him by UC Kwayana, a village elder, a politician who were part of getting independence along with Burnham and Jagan and so on, a pioneer in politics. And these are the people that he has turned against for a contract, for little food to eat. And so Mr. Connie Blair must understand that Norman Brown has never been like that and will never be like that. We're fighting the people's struggle. And I do apologize to the viewers for this bit of interjection, but his comments in the thread, have caused people to respond, decent people to respond. And so I have dealt with Akani, and I have nothing more to say to Akani. Mr. Martin and Mr. Zephyr, an excellent delivery here on this program, an excellent discourse, a rapport. I feel honored to have Mr. Otto Martin of the Small Man Show on this program, and most honored to have a Linden businessman and popular Linden personality, and Mr. Lincoln Zephyr. Of course, we hope that this COVID situation is alleviated, and so that we can get back to the all black, we can get back to the Linden Tongue Week, we can get back to all those social activities that we are accustomed to, that brought a lot of joy and happiness to our people. So, Mr. Zephyr, what are your plans post COVID? We were hoping by August things should return to normal. It's a pipe dream, I would say. But what are your plans? And then Mr. Martin will conclude the show. Go ahead.
We got a big reunion at 106 and Pine, because Otto will be very rich by then, and all the players from the
Me know we're talking about,
the,
buddy. Make
the
yourself clearer.
all the players of the Poker Association, the Gambling Association, Otto Martin, and all the other elders. You know what I mean? All the El Bonnie David,
But call the
all the
names.
elders. Yeah, all the Marlon Washington. All my friends, Parrot, everybody will be meeting up at 106 and Pine, then head over to G1's block, the market where we all will chill, as per usual, have some drinks, and then lash each other's base. May the luckiest man win that day. May the luckiest
Mark
man.
Jordan is laughing. But tell me something. Did Otto used to beat you a lot in the games, or
No,
was he
he
good?
would win. He would win from time to time, but he is the safest rider. He only rides once he gets back up. If he calls your base, know for sure he got 2 queen or 2 S or 2 juice. He never bluffs.
Was
After he win at
Was
night,
he a sore
he
loser?
buy
Was
a
he a
pack
sore...
of chow mein. When he wins at night, he buys a pack of chow mein with a tin of corned beef and a big drink at the
This is
corner shop.
Linden.
Once you see him doing
This
that,
is
you won the
Linden.
gamble.
Once you see him doing that, what? Once you
Once he
what?
buys a pack of chow mein, a tin of corned beef, and a big drink every night by Riggy in Green Street, you won the gamble. Definitely.
People
That
are
is
people
absolutely
are
correct.
cracking
Which
up in
is
the comment
every night.
section, Lincoln. People are cracking up in the comment section. Yeah, Sonia
Yeah,
Rigby said
Yes.
base,
real
base.
small man.
Also respond, Otto.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I am. Let me apologize to my friends that I used to play poker with for winning every night and buying a set of chow mein every night. But just goes for sure. I'm a real small man. Carrying a chow mein and a fasting with two onion. Triggy. Pass a chow mein, a corned beef and two onion there. Quick, quick. One, two, three. But definitely, quite seriously, thank you for having me on your show. The Small Man Show has evolved and ever evolving into empowering the people to speak up for themselves. People, just speak up for yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. Stop watching at your neighbor. Stop watching what people say. Let's address the issues and let's get to the conversation. I'm on every night from 7, community style gaff, and the views expressed on the Small Man Show is not necessarily the views of the Small Man Show, but it's the views of the normal small man in society that start getting brave and talking to these big boy politicians to do the right thing. Hopefully, the politicians now, I must say, most of the politicians now are taking the lead now and answering all the questions and so on. And we get into the business and we getting everything done now. So thanks to all the regional chairmen and so on. Oh, and the last thing I want to do, please, somebody in the national parliament, table
Otto,
a motion.
they said the wharf missing you. Yeah, go ahead with the motion and then you can respond to
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. I have the wolf. I don't know what,
They said the
but here's
wharf,
what.
the
Yeah,
wharf
yeah.
missing you.
I want everybody in the parliament, somebody grow some kahunas and table a motion to revamp all of the city councils in the country's bureaucracy and do something new for the benefit. A city council can run with 80 million subsidies. So you're setting up these people to lose, right? So the hope is somebody in parliament use your seat to do something proper for the people. Please. Because other than that, you're part of the problem and you're wasting people's time. All right? So please, Mr. Ministers, Mr. Parliamentarians, please, somebody try for table a motion to switch up so these municipalities get enough monies to help their constituents. That is only fair. That's the right thing to do. Stop using things. CDC, you come and push, hey, who vote PPPI, you come run this and the bluffing people. We see through all them thing now. We done with all them kind of play. Come off our necks. Come off of our necks. Come off our necks, politicians. Come off. Come off of our necks. We fed up. Come off of our necks. We fed up. So big up to the voice of the diaspora, but small man will be on every night at 7 and
At
we will
seven.
get into the issue.
This is the voice of the diaspora. It is a special show tonight. It's a special program. Primarily for Linden, us, Mr. Lincoln Zephyr, a successful Linden businessman on the show, and of course the host of the Small Man Show is here with us. It has been a pleasure having both of you gentlemen on, and hopefully sometime in the near future we can come back together to discuss our progress and our possibilities and our development and all that we would have achieved and would have inspired in many other people, that change for better. It is a honor, an honor to have you guys on here this evening, and I want to thank you very, very much for being on this program. Until our next program, of course, I will be having Mr. Gordon Mosley on Tuesday. We'll be having Mr. Gordon Mosley on Tuesday, and hopefully sometime later in the week I would like to reach out to the opposition leader, the leader of the opposition, to be on the show. But this was a segment of the Small Man Show tonight, and I hope that you weren't disappointed. I see hundreds and hundreds of guests. Andrew Qualis is saying they need to get rid of the CDC and return the funding for the functionality of the mayor and city council. I don't know why people calling the Linden town council city council. It is the mayor and town council. It is not a city council. Georgetown is the city council. Thank you very much, guys, for being on the program. And until then, much love, much respect. Keep the unity.